So I've been playing with these two devices, which is the Samsung Galaxy A14 and the Tecno Spark 10 Pro together. And in today's video, we're going to compare them side by side and as well go on to point out some similarities between these two devices. I'm DELPPY and make we talk Charlie. The starting price for the Tecno Spark 10 Pro, which is the one that comes with 128 gigabytes, comes at 1,830 Ghana cedis. Whereas the starting price for the Galaxy A14 comes at 2,100 cedis for the 64 gigabyte base storage variant. There is a higher variant which goes as high as 128 gigabytes, and that comes with a different price. The 256 gigabytes variant for the Spark 10 Pro comes at 2,100 Ghana cedis. In certain outlets, you might be able to get it less, like Jumia or Franco Trade. When it comes to the design for both devices, Tecno did a great job slapping a glass back on the device with a matte textured finish, which gives it a very premium feel for an entry or mid-range device. Samsung, on the other hand, gave us a minimalistic look with some patterned lines that give it a very great reflection on the rear side, but also comes in with a plastic back at the rear side. That is a major difference because, of course, this makes the Tecno Spark 10 Pro feel more premium than you would get on the Samsung Galaxy A14. One major difference, again, on the rear side of these devices include the fact that the cameras look very obviously different. One added similarity on the design is the fact that both devices come with a side-mounted fingerprint scanner, which is used for opening the device. I must say that Tecno's fingerprint scanner feels slightly faster than what we have on the Samsung Galaxy A14. But let's not forget that these devices come in different color variants. Spark 10 Pro comes with 3 color variants, which includes the starry black, which is what I have here, the pearl white, and one additional one which is known as Lunar Eclipse. Now that has a leathery finish, and I'm really hoping I could get my hands on that because it's giving that big boss vibes. Samsung, on the other hand, comes in 4 color variants. What I have here is the green color variant. There are other color variants like black, dark red, and silver. Now, Samsung gives you more color options as compared to what Tecno has. Let's talk about the display. Both devices come with an LCD display panel. Although Samsung calls theirs a PLS display, it still basically is an LCD display panel. Colors on the Tecno Spark 10 Pro looks slightly punchy and more vibrant than what we get on the Samsung Galaxy A14. Also, on the other hand, the Tecno Spark 10 Pro has support for 90 Hz refresh rate, which could be disabled or enabled in the display settings. The Samsung Galaxy A14 is capped at 60 Hz, so there is no 90 Hz refresh rate option on this device. Now, this is just for the 4G variant, but the 5G variant does come with a 90 Hz refresh rate. At 6.8 inches, the Tecno Spark 10 Pro comes with an 85.6% screen to body ratio. This means that the dark lines around the device are more thinner than previously. The Samsung Galaxy, which is a 6.6 inch device, on the other hand, comes with an 80.2% screen to body ratio, which basically means that the bezels or the dark corners around the display on the device are more thicker than what we have on the Tecno Spark 10 Pro, which gives the Tecno Spark 10 Pro a more beautiful design. Also, it comes with a dot-in display like Tecno calls it, whereas the Samsung Galaxy comes with an Infinity V design. All devices stream content at maximum 1080p. What that means is you can stream content at FHD+, and also in certain circumstances on YouTube, you can stream video at maximum 2K resolution, which is basically 1440p. Let's talk about platform and performance. Right out of the box, both devices come with Android 13, whereas the Samsung Galaxy comes with One UI Core 5.0, which is upgradable to One UI Core 5.1. The Tecno Spark 10 Pro comes with iOS 12.6. And this is the part where Samsung beats Tecno because, of course, Samsung gives you up to 2 years of major OS updates and 1 additional year for security updates. Tecno, on the other hand, will be giving you 1 year of major OS updates and hopefully 1 year of security updates. The processor on the Spark 10 Pro is the 12nm chipset from MediaTek, which is the MediaTek Helio G88 processor, backed with 8 gigs of RAM, which can be increased to 16 GB with help from memory fusion of an additional 8 GB of RAM. That helps the performance a lot because my gaming experience on here, and I must add, I'll leave a card right here for you to check because I made a gaming review for this device you should check out. I noticed little to no lags on the device when I was gaming, and I know this is because the Helio G88 processor is a gaming and performance monster, so of course you wouldn't notice lags and stutter that much until you are gaming for longer periods of time. On the Samsung Galaxy A14, you are getting the Exynos 850 chipset coupled with 4 gigs of RAM. Now they do have other higher RAM variants which include a 6 GB RAM variant, but what I have here comes with 4 gigs of RAM, and that could be boosted with the help of RAM Plus to up to 8 gigs of RAM with an additional 4 GB of software memory. Now I won't advise that you play heavy gaming titles like Call of Duty Mobile, Apex Legends, Asphalt 9 Legends, or even Genshin Impact because you might end up experiencing slight stutter and lags, and even to some extent heating up issues on the Galaxy A14. But then again, if you're going to play games, other low-end titles like what I'm playing now on the device run very smoothly and you experience little to no stutter or lags on the device. As stated earlier, storage options for the Spark 10 Pro includes 128GB and 256GB, with both of them coming coupled with 8 gigs of RAM. The Samsung Galaxy on the other hand starts at 64GB and goes as high as 128GB, but also comes with 4 and 6GB RAM variants as well. The cameras. Now I'll go over the specs for both devices and let you be the judge of the output in terms of camera performance. But before that, let's go through the specifications of the cameras for both devices. Both devices come with the 50MP main camera shooter, and with the Samsung Galaxy A14 you have other camera options like the ultra wide angle lens and a macro lens for macro shots, with which the ultra wide angle lens comes with a 5MP ultra wide angle lens and a 2MP macro lens for macro shots as stated earlier. Samsung is giving you a 13MP front facing selfie camera for taking selfie shots. Tecno is giving you an additional 2MP for wide angle shots at the rear side and giving you 32MP front facing selfie camera for glowing selfies. But then again, like I said, I'll let you be the judge of it. So here are image samples for both the selfie and rear cameras of the Tecno Spark 10 Pro and the Samsung Galaxy A14. Also, don't forget to leave a like whilst you're at it. So I'm recording on both devices, the Galaxy A14 on my left, the Spark 10 Pro on my right. Let me know what you think about the quality from the selfie camera of these devices. Also, not to forget, I'm recording video in 1080p 30fps because that is where the Samsung Galaxy A14 is capped at, and because of that there's no way I can record higher than that. So just to give it a fair comparison, the Tecno Spark 10 Pro is also recording at 1080p 30fps. Also, I must add that when it comes to videography, the Tecno Spark 10 Pro does a good job by shooting at maximum 2K 30fps, whereas the Samsung Galaxy A14 is capped at 1080p 30fps. So do bear that in mind in case you consider these specifications. Battery capacity for both devices are capped at 5000 mAh. Still on the topic of battery, when you're charging the device, you have support for 18 watts on the Tecno Spark 10 Pro, whilst you have support for 15 watts charging on the Samsung Galaxy A14. Both devices have support for USB Type-C charging. Now let's finalize everything with the similarities for both devices. So both devices have support for wired headphones for those of you who are into that. Also, both devices houses a side-mounted fingerprint scanner with which a Tecno Spark 10 Pro is slightly faster than the Samsung Galaxy A14, and both devices have support for USB Type-C. Also, both devices come with Android 13 out of the box. I must say, these are my observations and comparison between the Samsung Galaxy A14 and the Tecno Spark 10 Pro. Do let me know in the comment section what you think about these two devices and which device you will be going with. I'm DELPPY, and as always, we go talk more, Charlie.